Artificial intelligence has become the engine of modern innovation. From chatbots that write code to algorithms that predict market trends, AI is now the beating heart of the global tech economy. But behind every AI breakthrough, there's an enormous machine humming quietly in the background. A massive infrastructure of data centers, chips, and energy systems that's both costly and complex. The story of AI's rise isn't just about software or algorithms, it's about hardware and the immense resources required to power this digital revolution. The hidden truth is that the AI boom is running on some of the most expensive, energy-intensive infrastructure ever built. Let's break that down. When you interact with an AI model, whether it's C, H, A, T, G, P, T, Gemini, or a voice assistant, that response doesn't come from thin air. It comes from powerful servers packed with advanced chips called GPUs, or graphics processing units. These GPUs, made primarily by companies like NVIDIA and AMD, are the backbone of AI computation, and they are not cheap. A single high-end AI chip can cost between $20,000 and $40,000. Training large models requires thousands of them running for weeks or even months. That means one training run can cost tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars. Companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google are pouring billions into building new data centers just to keep up with the growing appetite for AI. Microsoft's capital spending has surged past $50 billion per year, largely driven by AI infrastructure. Google and Amazon are not far behind, and chipmaker NVIDIA, once a niche player in gaming hardware, is now valued higher than nearly every company on the planet because its GPUs have become the gold standard for AI computing. But that's just the financial cost. The environmental and operational costs are even more staggering. AI infrastructure consumes an enormous amount of electricity. Each new generation of AI models requires exponentially more computational power, and therefore more energy. Analysts estimate that training a single large AI model can use as much electricity as hundreds of American homes consume in a year. Multiply that by the hundreds of models being developed across the industry, and you begin to see the scale of the issue. Some experts warn that data centers could account for 10% of global electricity demand by 2030 if current AI growth continues unchecked. And then there's the water. Many data centers use evaporative cooling systems to prevent overheating. Training a single AI model can consume over 700,000 liters of fresh water, enough to fill several swimming pools. In places like Arizona, Texas, and Iowa, where some of the biggest new AI data centers are being built, this raises real concerns about sustainability and local resource strain. Communities near these sites are already seeing higher energy costs and water shortages. While companies promise to offset consumption through renewable energy and green cooling methods, those solutions are often years away from matching the speed of AI's growth. Beyond energy and environment, there's another cost: economic concentration. Building and maintaining AI infrastructure is so expensive that only a handful of companies can afford it. That's creating a new kind of tech monopoly. Today, the AI economy is controlled by a small cluster of players: Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, and NVIDIA. Together, they dominate the supply chain, from chips and data centers to cloud platforms and enterprise AI tools. Startups that want to train AI models often have no choice but to rent infrastructure from these giants. In effect, the AI boom is creating an infrastructure oligopoly, where innovation depends on a few companies' resources and policies. This consolidation of power also brings geopolitical risk. The world's most advanced AI chips are designed in the US, but manufactured largely in Taiwan by TSMC. That makes the global AI supply chain vulnerable to geopolitical tensions in East Asia. Washington has already moved to limit China's access to cutting-edge chips, sparking a technological arms race. Both countries are now racing to build domestic capacity, not just for innovation, but for national security. Meanwhile, investors are starting to question whether this infrastructure race is sustainable. The cost of maintaining and expanding AI capacity keeps rising, while profits, outside of a few top players, remain uncertain. Even giants like Microsoft and Google are facing thinner margins because of the massive spending required to support AI growth. Some economists warn that this could lead to an AI infrastructure bubble, similar to the dot-com boom of the late 1990s. The argument is that companies are overbuilding data centers and overestimating demand, betting that AI will transform every industry immediately. If the return on those investments doesn't materialize fast enough, we could see painful corrections in the sector. And yet, this infrastructure arms race isn't slowing down. Every major company sees AI as too important to ignore. The logic is clear. Whoever owns the compute power will own the future of intelligence. That's why tech firms are racing to build more capacity, even if it means spending billions up front. To make the AI boom sustainable, however, the industry must address its most pressing challenge: efficiency. Researchers are already exploring AI optimization, techniques that reduce the amount of compute power needed to train models. Smaller, specialized AI systems are emerging that can deliver similar results at a fraction of the cost and energy use. Advances in chip design, like NVIDIA's next-generation Blackwell architecture and custom AI accelerators from companies like Google and Apple, promise to make future systems faster and less power-hungry. There's also a growing push toward renewable-powered data centers. Microsoft and Amazon have pledged to run their facilities entirely on clean energy within the next few years. Some companies are even experimenting with nuclear-powered data centers to achieve carbon neutrality. These steps won't eliminate the cost problem, but they may make AI's footprint less destructive. In many ways, this is the paradox of progress. The same technology that promises to make industries more efficient is itself consuming unprecedented resources. The same systems that promise to reduce waste are generating massive new demands for energy and infrastructure. So, while the world celebrates AI's capabilities, its creativity, its productivity, its promise, the hidden costs beneath that innovation are mounting. Energy grids are straining, supply chains are consolidating, and the planet's resources are being tested. The question for the next decade isn't whether AI will grow. It will. The real question is whether the world can build and sustain the infrastructure needed to power it without burning out the systems it depends on. Because behind every AI miracle, there's a server room somewhere, drawing power, spinning fans, and generating heat. And the true measure of AI's future won't just be how smart it becomes, but how responsibly we build the machines that keep it alive.